Water is precious for every living entity and if pursued with precision. Modi's water strategy could damage Pakistan more profoundly than any conventional war. The domestic dividends for India are enormous. Redirected waters can rejuvenate Indian agriculture, particularly in water-starved regions like Punjab, Haryana, and Rajasthan. Namaskar friends, myself Deepak Kumar Rath. I welcome you to the digital media of Uday India, and today in India Things I will speak about the aftermath situations of the attack at Pahalgaon and what the government of India has taken the action by stalling the water to flow from India to Pakistan, and I will say it's a new front, and why Modi's water offensive could bleed Pakistan without a ceasefire. The situation is really like that. It will be more troublesome for Pakistan instead of direct firing. As you know, when we think of India-Pakistan conflicts, the mind often races to dogfights in the skies, cross-border artillery exchanges, or chilling nuclear brickmanship. But under Prime Minister Narendra Modi, a quieter, deadlier front is opening, and that doesn't involve soldiers, tanks, or missiles. It involves water. Water is precious for every living entity, and if pursued with precision, Modi's water strategy could damage Pakistan more profoundly than any conventional war. For decades, India awarded by the Indus Water Treaty IWT of 1960, a Cold War era agreement that awarded Pakistan control over three mighty rivers, the Indus, Jhelum and Chenab, while India made do with the smaller ones. That India stuck to the treaty even after multiple wars and related terror attacks emanating from Pakistan is a testament either to India's restraint or to its strategic lethargy, depending on how you see it. Modi seems determined to change that perception. His government's focus on maximizing India's share of water under the treaty, building long delayed dams and redirecting water flows back into Indian territory signals the birth of a new doctrine. Punish Pakistan not with bombs but with slow, suffocating squeeze of its lifeline. The stakes for Pakistan are existential. Over 90% of Pakistan's agriculture production, which employs 40% of its labor force and underpins its fragile economy, depends on the Indus basin. If India even marginally restricts the flow legally with the IWT's framework, the effects will ripple through Pakistan's farms, cities, and markets. Food inflation, loss of livelihoods, and civil unrest would be inevitable in a country already teetering on the economic collapse and political fragmentation. Water scarcity could push it dangerously close to the edge. For India, the beauty of this strategy lies in its subtlety. Military strikes grab global headlines and invite calls for restraint. A war over water, conducted through infrastructure projects and smart diplomacy, is slower, quieter, and harder for the world to criticize. After all, India is not proposing to break the treaty, but to exploit its full entitlement, something it has inexplicably neglected for decades. It's classic case of turning an old weakness into a modern weapon. Moreover, the domestic dividends for India are enormous. Redirected waters can rejuvenate Indian agriculture, particularly in water-starved regions like Punjab, Haryana, and Rajasthan. Hydropower projects on rivers like Chenab and Jhelum can boost India's green energy ambitions, reduce reliance on fossil fuels, and drive economic growth. Water, often seen as a passive resource, could become a lever for both internal development and external pressure, a rare geopolitical double win. Critics might argue that weaponizing water risks long-term instability or provokes unpredictable retaliation from Pakistan. Perhaps, but let's not forget, for decades, Pakistan has waged an undeclared proxy war against India, bleeding us through 1,000 cords. Modi's water doctrine flips the script. It bleeds Pakistan slowly, legally, and substantially. No certain plus points, no body bags on either side, just an inexorable tightening of the nose, drop by drop, dam by dam. So ultimately, Modi's approach represents a deeper strategic maturity. It understands that true power in international relation is not always about confrontation, it's about controlling critical resources, altering realities on the ground, and letting your adversary collapse under the weight of their own weakness. In this silent, relentless war over water, Pakistan faces a threat more terrifying than tanks at the border, the drying up of its fields, the emptying of its granaries, and the slow evaporation of its economy. Friends, history is often written by those who understand when to fight with swords and when to fight with silence. In choosing the river over rifle, Modi may just be scripting a new chapter in India's long, turbulent story with its western neighbor, a chapter where the roar of jets is replaced by the silent, devastating power of a river's flow. Nothing is more than that. One hopes that this decision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi is really thought-provoking, and one hopes that the other side, the people who are beyond the border in Pakistan, they will realize the action in future and will update more such related issues relating to attack on Hindus, and will update how Government of India is preparing itself for anything, any possibilities, because the whole nation is in a silent mode waiting for the Modi to take action. That's all for today. Stay tuned with Uday India and subscribe to Uday India. Thank you.